Okay, so now we're going to talk about pre-rigging the rappel while the follower is coming up to the anchor. In this scenario, we've gotten to the top of the climb and we want to have a speedy transition from going up to going back down the same exact route, because this particular route we rappel back to the ground. So first thing I'm going to do is I have my anchor set up. It's another quad anchor. I'll clip myself in. Going to use a clove hitch for the versatility. And then I'm going to pull out my whatever device I'm going to belay up my climber with. I'll clip them into the other shelf. Now that that's all ready to go, I can say off belay to my climber, and then you hear belay off. Now I'm going to start pulling up the rope. While I'm pulling up the rope, if I know that the pitch was less than half the rope length, I can be watching for the middle mark. Or if I know if the pitch is more than half the rope length, then I'll just be ready to watch for the middle mark while I'm belaying my climber up. In this case, I can pull up enough rope until I have the middle mark, because this pitch is less than half the rope length. Keep on pulling it up. Here's the middle mark right here, so I'm going to set that aside just so that way I can keep track of it better. And now I'm tight to my climber. I hear that's me. I'm going to load my plate. Make sure everything's locked. And now I can say on belay to my climber. So while my climber is moving up the rope, I'm going to start to multitask now. I'm watching the climber strand, making sure that I'm still keeping the slack out of the rope. What I'm going to do is pull out my personal rappel tether. This can either be a double link sling, or in this case I have one of these link personal anchor system things. And I'll thread that through my harness. I have a locking carabiner to go with it, and I'm going to clip myself long so that way I have a bit of room. That also has to do with the ledge that you're at. In this case, we're at a nice ledge where I can really stand and no weights on my anchor. If you were at a hanging belay, you might want to go a bit closer. Either way, now I'm going to clip myself in, same shelf, and at this point I can take my knot off of the anchor because I have this personal anchor system holding me in. And I'll go ahead and untie myself from the rope. There we go, and then just immediately feed this through the chains. There you go. Another thing to keep in mind is I clip my anchor above the rappel chains. Sometimes you may choose to clip them beneath the rappel rapides, but that's kind of a bad idea, because once you weight this rope, then that'll pinch your anchor in place. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, so I got a little bit of the rope through. I'm gonna go ahead and tie a stopper knot with ample tail, about 6-8 inches, even 12 inches isn't bad. And then go back, make sure I'm keeping up with my climber. This stack is upside down right now, so I can just do the old pancake flip to make sure my side is on top. And I'm going to, again, since I have a really big ledge right here, I'm just going to find a place to stack all of this rope. If I had a smaller ledge, or if I wanted to keep things a bit more neat, I just keep on doing these butterfly coils right here. And I'm going to keep on going until my hand gets full of the butterfly coils, and I can set them aside. Either clipping them off to an anchor, I could use an alpine draw to clip them off. In this case I have a little tree right here, so I can actually like set the rope on the tree and use that, and I can easily just grab it again. Either way, gonna keep on pulling rope through, occasionally pulling on my rope, making sure my climber is still getting a tentative belay. And there you have it. My middle mark just hit the center of the rope. Or sorry, my middle mark just went in between the chains. Set that down there. Right here, we just want to isolate this, because if the rope falls or for whatever reason on the other side, this could get offset and I could lose the middle of my rope. So what I'm going to do is just go down a little bit, about 4 or 5 feet, and tie with all the strands of BHK. And then that'll just keep the rope in place. Now I go back to fully watching my climber, maintaining my climber. Here comes my climber. All they have to do is personal anchor themselves into this anchor right here. We can load our belay devices and then zip down the wall.